what you mean to me. What would you do if I told you you were beautiful? Girl, you know well, baby, I've been around the world, but I ain't seen myself another girl like you.
So for the hair, I'm going to be using the regular Darling hair braids. This is Darling. The braid in particular is the Abuja long. I like this one because it has a bit of a yucky texture. Like, the braids are not super smooth. They have a bit of a texture, so that will help in forming the knots. I have only 3 packs of this left over from my last braiding escapades, so I'm hoping it's going to be enough because I do want the hair to have enough volume. And then additionally, I have my trusty crochet. I'm starting off with washed and blow-dried hair. I'm going to do the base cornrows off camera because it's going to take me a while. I'll just come back to show you the braiding pattern and then we can get into the crocheting process. Hi, welcome back to another hair video. So this is the basic cornrow pattern that I went with. Short cornrows in the front and then everything else was tucked in the back. I really try not to fuss too much over the cornrows because it's going to be hidden anyway. So if it looks a little wonky, it's fine. Whatever works, works. So I started in the back and I'm just going to speed through the process of attaching the crochet braids in the back because it's just the normal basic knot. If you're not new here, you know in the back is all vibes. We just go with the flow. The main concern is always in the front because whatever is behind me does not concern me. But all jokes aside, I don't use a mirror because I've done this enough times to know how to maneuver the back of my head without looking. But yeah, the main concern will be doing the crochets in the front because I want to try the invisible knot style so that I will be able to part the crochet hair. I just moved to the bathroom because now I need the mirror to be able to see the front. That's the most important. For the back, we will survive. But I want to first do all the front pieces, the pieces that are going to form the hairline. As you can see, when I was doing the cornrows, I left out just all the weak little bit of edges that I have left, but I left that all out. So now I want to do all the pieces for this individual cornrows in the front that are going to be hanging out, and I'll show you how I do that in a bit, and then we can move on to making the parts and, you know, the places where I can be able to style the hair. So to create the look of an imaginary hairline, I'm going to be leaving out some bits of the crochet hair from the cornrow. So for this, I just started first by doing a simple knot at the back of the braid. And then in order to create that hairline piece, I'm just going to be taking one of the strands from the 2 pieces in the knot and then inserting the crochet from the very front of the braid and hooking the hair to it and then pulling out all the way in the front. And this will be repeated for all the cornrows in the front. And this makes the style just look a bit more natural and also just to avoid having knots at the very front of your cornrows. Okay, so I've made it all the way to the front, and this is where I want to focus the knotless kind of stitch as much as possible, because I want there to be at least 3 separate partitions where I can part the hair. For this part, I've just done the normal knots, but here I'm going to try to create the invisible knot. So because I want the part to be this way, knots will be going on this side of the braid, and this side of the braid will not have the knots. To create the invisible knot, I inserted the crochet needle on the side of the cornrow where I want the knot to be. Then once you pull out and have that loop, you only pick one of the strands from the braids, and this is what you're going to double knot and then pull on each side to secure the knot. When you do it this way, the knot only stays on one side of the braid, and on the other side, it sort of gives the illusion that the hair is coming from your scalp. So I'm going to be repeating this process throughout all the cornrows where I want a part to be. I finally finished all the section at the front. As you can see, the parts are looking very unnatural, very artificial. So this is the step that's supposed to make or break this hairstyle, because all this work might be for nothing. But we're going to do some back combing to just mess up the root bit so that it looks more natural. I'm feeling very nervous about this back combing process. This was my first time attempting back combing. I've watched a lot of videos, but I feel like I could have gone more harm with it, because when the hair is so straight and so perfectly done, it just looks artificial. So backcombing tries to make it look more natural with the root of your hair. And then after backcombing, I just decided to cut some layers because it was all the same length, so it looked a bit weird. So I cut some layers to frame the face, and I'm using the eyebrow razor. I didn't want it to have like a straight edge all the way down, so this makes it look more frayed, more natural, rather than having it straight. So you can see the layers once I comb it out, that it's not like perfectly cut all the way down. And this is the point where I realized that this hairstyle will probably need to evolve a bit more. It turned out fine, but I felt like there was something missing. So it's been like 2 days since I did this hair, and I've come to realize straight hair is just not my thing. I'm not feeling it, so I'm back in the bathroom. I was actually really tempted to just take it out and scrap the whole video because I was not feeling the look. And then I have this massive real estate here. The crochet method itself was pretty effective, but this is just making me feel so exposed and I feel like curly hair suits me better. So I decided, instead of just taking it out before I even enjoy the style, you know, after all that work I did of putting in the cornrows and putting the braids, I'm going to curl it. So I'm just going to use the flexi rods and just curl them as tight as possible, and hopefully I do not scald my scalp. Okay, the flexi rods are in, so I'm going to get the hot water. I'll not show the process of doing it because it will definitely give you heart palpitations, but we'll be back once the hair is curly.
If I told you were beautiful.
Listen, you cannot convince me that curling it was not the right choice, because I love it curlier than I loved it when it was straight. But this is the result of the flexi rods. Also, I don't know what it is about the hair being curly, but it kind of creates air pockets around my neck. So I thought I was going to curl it and cut it short because I was feeling like when it was straight, it was just trapping heat in my neck and in my back, and it's still summer. But when it's curly, like these air pockets inside the hair, and I don't feel like it's hot anymore. I didn't even change the length, it's still the same length. Quick temporary style if you want something to push you for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. 3 weeks would be pushing it a bit too much. I would say 2 weeks. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you try out this hair, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye.
Well, baby, I've been around.